The story about establishing the FWA Elite Club is coming from a need that everybody's very well aware of. We need to connect the unconnected. The industry today is facing a huge problem, which is how do we smartly invest in CapEx for deploying high-speed broadband network across the different countries. One of the technological solutions was to have fixed wireless access, especially to be able to serve the underserved area and the remote areas. As you can know, deploying fiber all over a country is very expensive, and from the investor perspective, sometimes it doesn't make sense, and there is no use case or business case in terms of amortizing the investment. Therefore, technology providers, they came up with a very smart idea, providing fixed wireless access in the remote area where we have less density, less population, less users, but at the same time providing to them a quality of service equivalent to fixed network. So this is how the idea came. And of course, that idea needs to be promoted. We need to advocate for the benefits. We need to work with the government, policymakers, regulators in order to have the right spectrums to deploy such a technology. So this is where the story came from. Of course, by establishing the FWA Elite Club, what we are looking for is to share best practices with the industry, with the front runners, the telecom operators that they have adopted this technology, and how can we advance the digital development and of course reach the objective of connecting the unconnected. So this is the story about FWA. With the Saudi government, we are working on various areas and with the different entities. The Saudi government, in light of Vision 2030, is executing, let's say, the vision on a very speedy mode. And the contribution of Samiina is to bring around the table and to convene the different stakeholders from the private sector, telecom operators, STC, Mobile, Zain, and others, to bring them around the table, to build bridges with the government, to see where are the regulatory impediments for the digital development, and how we can ensure that we have, in the wake of digital transformation, we are moving forward with sustainability, sustainable digital transformation. Given those objectives, we work with the CST, His Excellency Governor Al-Tamimi, from whom we are getting a very strong support and openness in terms of discussing our needs, private sector, in terms of agile and flexible regulation. We also work very hard with MCIT, the Ministry of Telecommunication, for framing the right policies that will incentivize investment. But we should not forget also about cybersecurity. We work with the NCA, also another Saudi entity, through the GCF, where we are addressing the cybersecurity issues, the cyber safety, not only for the 5G deployment, but for the upcoming 6G. And I think last month the successful meeting of GCF has witnessed today the openness and how wide is this dialogue. But we also work with the other competition authorities in Saudi Arabia, and this is demonstrating the real engagement that Saudi government is undertaking with the private sector to advance digital development, not only in Saudi Arabia, but at the same time probably to show example, to lead the way internationally, how today countries from Saudi Arabia have leapfrogged, and today we are getting into one of the most advanced countries in terms of infrastructure, in terms of innovation, in terms of job creation. Huawei is a technology provider. It's very important from an industry perspective for the operators to have an idea about the where Huawei or the technology providers will be taking them. We talk about massive investment, not only in terms of OPEX, but in terms of CAPEX. It's important in terms of research and development to understand the strategic direction undertaken by Huawei and how today having such a technology in Saudi Arabia and in the Middle East at large will guarantee sustainability, predictability for the investment. Number two, where we are working also is on the vision that has been edicted by the countries, by Saudi Arabia, and to see if there is a match between the technological roadmap that Huawei will be undertaking along with the goals of Saudi Arabia. And for that, there is an extremely important and amazing tool, and not just a tool that has been developed by Huawei, which is the Global Digitalization Impact, the GDI, that we have announced last month in Dubai during GITEX. It is not only a tool, it's a roadmap that help countries to have a better view about the digitalization and digital transformation process. It came up with some findings, and I urge everyone to have a look into this GDI, and those findings provide a measurement of the readiness of the country with regard to digitalization and the mass adoption of connected devices. With the massive adoption of connected device, with the proliferation of hungry bandwidth application, with the arrival of massive IoT, with the artificial intelligence, all those processes that have been adopted massively by the population, by enterprise, by industries, it's very important to have a strong infrastructure and resilient network. Therefore, we are advocating and promoting 10 gigabyte society, and I have organized a meeting in Dubai on the 17th of October, where we have gathered regulators, policymakers, private sector at large, and also academia. It's important wherever we go in terms of digital innovation, because innovation is there and moving at a very fast speed. It's important for the regulatory authority to catch up with innovation and to come up with the right regulatory framework. So yes, we have a very strong report from the regulators. We still have a lot to do. We are working, we are having dialogue, we are having conversation, and of course we welcome any question from the regulators how we can help them frame the proper regulation for the benefits of the consumer, the customer, and the citizen.
Great. Finally, I'm sure you already started planning for next year Leader Summit. Could you shed light on the key topics you will include in the agenda about 5G and AI?
Well, you are right, as you mentioned, it's under preparation. Of course, the heart of the network is going to be centered around 5G advanced. Probably we may have or need to address 6G development, even though we are at a very early stage in terms of standardization. Cybersecurity will be extremely important. Monetization of the infrastructure, and coming up for the industry, for the users to come up with some use cases with the other industries, with the healthcare industry, with the transportation industry. Convergence with the non-terrestrial network is important, because today also we should not forget that we have a huge infrastructure in the space segment. So there are many various diversified subjects that we will try to bring together, to convene, and to showcase to the world that today we are in a complex world, interconnected, interrelated, and there is a need to harmonize from the private sector and government the way forward to be able to reach our objective, and mainly the sustainable development goal and connecting everyone.